Hey loves, and welcome back to my channel. It's Ijoma here, and we are going to learn how to make this skirt with the already made fabric. You're not going to be making this fabric from scratch. We are going to make it with the material I bought from the market, and I will try to make this as simple as possible, though the method I'm about to use is a very simple method. Now this is my accordion fabric, and this one is somehow more like a stretchy fabric, but it's not so stretchy. So we also have the ones that are not stretchy at all, the strong ones. This one is very light. Now I have my elastic. This is 3 inches. Yes, the elastic waistband is 3 inches. You can use a smaller elastic if you want to. Now this is the paper that I'll be using, and this is a long skirt. I had to join my paper so that it will be long enough, and the full length of my skirt is 44 inches. What I'm going to do is that I will take out 3 inches from my band. You know that I bought a 3 inches elastic band, so I'll take out 3 inches from the waist of the band and then get my full length. And I will be cutting this paper on fold. Please ignore my nails. I'll be cutting this paper on fold. Yes, you're not going to be cutting on one part of the paper. Then after cutting out the paper on fold, we are going to do a little slash and spread. Now the first thing that I will do is to get my full length, that is 44 inches, right? And I will mark a straight line there. Now after marking a straight line there, I will cut it off from there. Now back to my waist. If your waist is 30, if you divide it by 4, add extra 4 to the waist. So my waist is 28, I divided it by 4, that is 7. I added extra 4 to my waist measurement. On fold, that is 11. So my waist is like 16 inches wider than my normal waist. It is 4 on fold. So 4 times 2 at the front is 8. Another 2 at the back is 8. That is 16. So whatever you have, divide your waist by 4 and add extra 4 to it. Then connect it to the full length. I did not measure my hip, my knee. No, you don't need all that. Just get that waist measurement and cut it off. You can see this paper looks straight. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is to start marking my lines, because I want to use slash and spread method. But even before that, my waist is big already. My waist is bigger than my normal waist. That is the idea, because it will help us get that flay effect. This accordion fabric, it comes in straight lines, and you would like to maintain the straight lines even though it is a flay or A-line dress. I hope you understand what I'm saying. To the A-line skirt, you are still going to try your best to maintain the straight lines, and that is the reason why I am using this method. I don't want to go through the method of styling the fabric yourself. You can do that. That is like the original method for that, but I'll go ahead and run these lines, and I labeled all the pieces, and I have 9 pieces. Now this is my fabric. What I'm going to do is that I will fold my fabric. I have 3 yards here, 3 yards, yes, and it is on fold because I want to cut the front and the back once. So I folded everything once. The 3 yards, I folded it once, so that is like 1.5 yard now, but it is 2 pieces. I will cut the front and the back at the same time. Now I'll start slashing my paper, but you will not cut through that waistline. Yes, you will not cut through that waistline. I told you that the reason why I am using this method is in order to maintain the straight line on this particular fabric, but at the same time it will have an A line or flay shape. Now I am slashing the lines, and after slashing all these lines, you will spread by like 3 inches. I'm using 3 yards, so spread by like 3 inches so that your skirt will have that A line or flay vibe. And you know that I am cutting 2 pieces, so that means the front and the back will have a joining by the side. This skirt will have a joining by the side, but due to the nature of the design of this fabric, like the design of this fabric will not really make it obvious that it has joining at the side. Now after slashing, I'm not slashing my waist. I will start pinning. The other paper tore off at the waist, but I'm going to pin it back. I will get my pins and I'll start pinning. Pinning is very important. So as you are spreading, you will be pinning down all the pieces of the paper. So I'm trying to adjust my camera so that you can see how far I am spreading it. I'm not spreading too much. So I bought 3 yards, right? And I used all the 3 yards, in fact, because I folded my fabric into 2 before I started spreading. So I'll just use my pins and I will pin. Now after pinning, I will spread it till like the end of the fabric, wherever the fold of the fabric ends. Yes, so the essence is to maintain this waist, but the down part will have a line shape. If you make it just normal a line, it may not really give you that flay shape. Like if you cut normal a line on paper and place on your fabric and cut, it may not give you, it may not really give you that flay shape. So this slash and spread is better because it will give your waist a curved line. So look at the waist of this skirt. As I am spreading it, the waist of that skirt is curving, like it is no longer straight. This will help me have a flay look, a flay line look after cutting this skirt. I don't know if you understand, but if you make the waist straight, it will not give you what you want. So as you are spreading, your waist should curve a little, then add half an inch allowance around it and cut. Even at the full length, add half an inch allowance. And now after adding that, we are going to cut. Now after cutting, we will join the sides first of all before we introduce the elastic. Just make sure that your waist is curvy, more like a half circle curve. Yes, so just make sure that your waist is curvy, the full length is curvy too. That's the essence of this slash and spread. The full length will be curvy, the waist will be curved. Yes, so now after cutting this out, I will go ahead and pin the front and the back and join. So I am done cutting, and I'll go ahead and remove my pins from the waist and from the full length, the slash and spread pins that I used. And remember that the waist of this skirt is bigger. It is like 16 inches bigger than my normal waist. Yes, so now if you don't want to use elastic at your waist, you can use normal band. It is not a must to use elastic. You can actually use a normal band and add zip at the side of your skirt. But this material that I'm using is somehow stretchy, so I did not use zipper at the side. But if you buy the accordion that is not stretchy, you can decide to use band and zipper at the side. Now I am done, and I'll go ahead and pin the side. So this waist, the elastic will help us gather it a little, and it will help give our skirt that flay shape. But if you're using band, you will gather it yourself, like you will gather it or pleat it around the waist by yourself. But because we're using elastic will help us do the gathering at the waist. So now I'll get my pins and pin this down before we go ahead and stitch. Now once I'm done pinning the fabric, I will use half an inch to sew. Then at this full length, you can decide to curve the sides more if you want the sides to be curvy, but that's the mistake I made. Please leave it this way, because the slash and spread has already given the full length of our skirt that curvy shape. Then another thing is that the side seams of this skirt, the side seam of the skirt, please take note, reduce it a little so you can see the side seam. I'm trying to make that side seam a straight line. Yes, then the other side seam, I'll reduce it a little because I'm trying to like make the accordion around there a straight line. And now this is what we have. You can see our waist is curvy. Yes, I'll go ahead and shape the side and come back and show you guys. Now this is our elastic. My normal waist is actually 30, but I reduced it to 28. But on this elastic, I have 26 inches. Like this is elastic. Of course, you reduce it, you will stitch and then bend over and top stitch. Stitch, bend over and top stitch. So now I am done shaping the sides. I am done stitching the sides, and I will turn it over. So after turning it over, this is what our skirt looks like. So our accordion lines are still in good shape. So the mistake I made was trimming this side. Please do not trim this side. I had to leave it so that you will see. Please do not trim this side at all, because the slash and spread has already done that job. All right, now we are going to turn our skirts over. So if you turn this skirt over, this is what it looks like. Now it is time. I am done closing my elastic. You close your elastic before you start attaching to the waist. We go ahead and pin the side that I joined. I joined one side of that elastic. I will pin it to the joined side of the skirt too. So if I pin it there, when I go to my sewing machine, I will be dragging the elastic. So if you are dragging and stitching, it will give your skirt that gathered effect. So I'll take you guys to my sewing machine so that you can see. So you will drag and sew it. All right, this is if you want to use elastic, but if you're using a normal band, you don't have to do this. You just have to pleat, like you gather your waist. It is the same cutting method, but if you're using a band, a normal band, you will gather the skirt on the band. Okay, but because I'm using elastic we do the gathering. So you can see how I'm dragging my elastic. You will drag and sew, so you just maintain half an inch. You will drag and sew. You will drag and sew. So you can see now, after doing that, if I bring out my skirt, it will reduce the waist of that skirt to my actual waist. You know, the waist of the skirt is bigger than my waist, like 18 inches bigger than my waist. But after doing this with the elastic, it will bring it down to my normal waist, and it will also help add fullness to our skirts. Like the down part of the skirt will have that flay effect. So at the end of the day, this is what I have. I hope you like the tutorial. The skirt is not looking straight. Yes, it is not looking straight at all. It has that flay vibe. Thank you all, and see you in my next video. Registration for our online classes is ongoing. If you want to register, just drop a comment in the comment section. I will direct you on how to register. Love you all. Thanks for the support. Bye.